I welcome you all here today. My name is Joseph Alexander Ovidi. I'm known as the Prince of Harmony. My website's princeofharmony.com.au. I'm a teacher in spirituality and have been on a journey from childhood until now. When I was born, I was able to connect with portals which are still open to me, and I'm able to download information and travel to different time spans and see and gain that knowledge for the better of humanity. So I share that. I've written a book with the information on how I've experienced certain things in my life, Crystal Revelations. It reveals secrets that I've been advised to share with humanity. I'm also a musical composer. I've got an engineering, building and construction background, so I'm quite grounded in what I do and what I teach and how I live my life. And more importantly, I walk my talk. I get up in the morning and I'm grateful every day that I'm here and appreciate a reflection in the mirror. And I think we should all come from a position of compassion in this world that is currently split vibrationally. The vibration and the energies on this planet are now moving so fast that the old world as we knew it, as we all grew up, the era and the timeline of the 3D reality has given us a choice now for us to either reconnect to our spirituality or for us to suffer the ego vibration. Now the ego is what causes our suffering, and I've been here now 4 days and there's a couple of people I've seen return, which is good, excellent, and we've been on a journey where in understanding the spiritual path, and my understanding and personal journey has been going back to ancient Egyptian times, which are very sacred. And if you rely on the modern day history of what actually happened, you'll be totally misled, because a lot of the stuff has been wiped out. We've been here for millions and millions of years, and a lot of the information has been kept because there is actually research that shows that there's evidence of our connection to this planet as we are in our current form that goes back to many thousands of years. Modern carbon dating methods that are used to potentially identify time spans only go back to about 350 years with our current measurement tools. So if you go beyond that, you'll see that and understand there is a lot there that can't be told because nobody really was there to be told. And the only way to connect to this is through a higher dimension, not in the mind dimension. And if we go and have a look how the Egyptians built their pyramids, and we assess how the Mayans built their pyramids, and then look at the European pyramids and the pyramids in Antarctica and the pyramids in China, the pyramids all over the world, we start to ask ourselves, how did they share this knowledge when they had no technology as we know it, no mobile phones to connect and say, listen, when you're building the foundations to this structure, you use this calculation. It wasn't around. So when we look at the pyramids and we look at the understanding of how they use the chambers to use that energy and transmit it globally through crystalline power and energy, they would use, and I won't go into detail into it now, but they did use crystals and the yogis to go into these structures and communicate this with other yogis around the world. And this is an energy we all can connect to. It's available to us through the cosmos. It is cosmic energy, and it's the big bank of energy and information that is available for us to flow and connect into to better our lives. And I guess today is about opening up the understanding that there is another dimension, the dimension of the unseen. In other words, the world of particle, and this is a very important point I make, and I make it constantly. The world of particle is not responsible for itself. And what that means is the forms you see in this room, the chairs, the building, the structures, they are not responsible for their perception of how they are. The world of non-particle is what creates the world of particle. And if you start to see that there's a different dimension to this reality, and the unseen force is even more powerful than the seen force, you start to put your energy in the right location, which is going back into the heart, going back into the spirit, and reconnecting with that aspect of yourself. And when you get to that dimension, and a lot of the sages from the past and prophets all taught this level of awareness, of compassion, of purity. The crystals have got the same essence as us. Crystals are crystalline in nature. Their structure is complex molecules and atoms. Our bones, welcome everyone walking in, make yourself comfortable. Our bones are crystalline in nature. The salt in our body is crystalline in nature. Crystals are crystalline in nature. Our glands in our body have got crystal around them. When you start to understand we essentially are made up of the same type of vibration, you start to understand that you would like to work with a material element that is from the earth and it has been here for a long, long time, that is very similar to us. And the item is used for healing, and has been used for many healing sessions in the past. Now, how did they heal with crystals? Well, once they activated it, by removing the mind and going into a spiritual dimension, the connection with the spiritual crystal begins. And the one I choose to work with is the Lemurian crystal. This is a very powerful crystal. This is the one that's on the cover of my book, by the way. And the way you can tell they're Lemurian crystals is the lines that are on the side. Okay? There's lines, vertical lines that are scribed in them. These were put in by an ancient society, the Lemurians. They are programmed. You can tap into that information. You can meditate with these. Put these over your third eye when you meditate, and you will download your information when you have removed the ego aspect of ourselves. So they understood that crystals were used to balance the chakra system. If you imagine our chakra systems, they are like spinning wheels. When they get out of alignment, our whole balance and vibration starts to shake, and we end up with illnesses and imbalances in our mind. So the idea is that we reconnect with these on a different level to rebalance our chakra systems. The chakra systems are an essential element within our whole body. The healing process that takes place with crystals is done internally out. So in other words, they work from within, whereas modern day medicine works from dealing only with the symptom but not actually healing anything. So once we understand that this is a different level of awareness for us to connect with, we then start to understand that it's time to globally change the way we perceive this reality. Because the ancient Atlanteans were very similar to us. They built a society that was very technological, crystalline based. They were able to download their own information and advance themselves to a point ultimately that they lost control and connection with their spirituality. And you can see the resemblance in our society now. Spirituality is almost non-existent. We are all relying on technology which distracts us from our own truth. It is designed to keep us visually looking at something and keep us distracted so that we are not thinkers anymore, but we are more easily led as sheeple. So it's a matter of going deeper inside and understanding, yeah, there's a time and place for this, and it's a really valuable tool, but it does not represent essentially our life. And a lot of people now have put their whole life around these items. They'll take a photo at every moment, and we're all guilty of it because it's all part of the process we're in. But what I ask you is to open up to a different dimension and allow your connection with spirituality, because we will be going through very, very difficult times globally in the next few years. And if you are relying on something that can be switched off at a moment and you are left there not connected with anything, there will be a lot of suffering. There'll be times potentially where there'll be limited power available, there will be limited petrol available for vehicles to drive around. We are seeing these changes globally now. We're only at the start of them, with many other changes, which Mother Earth also is imprinting on us, because Mother Earth now has decided that every now and then we need a clean-up of a vibration on the planet to start the new vibration, which is the Age of Aquarius. Has anyone here heard of the Age of Aquarius? Yeah, okay, I see some hands coming out. Good. So the Age of Aquarius, which there was a song in the past called The Age of Aquarius, which has got a lot of sacred information in it. That was done in 1969. I ask you all to have a listen to that song because It is a beautiful, beautiful message within it. And today we will be preparing to take and download some information. I'll be invoking some energy down from the cosmos to come into the room, but we'll also be, all of us will be connecting to this energy, and we will experience whatever it is we're meant to experience today. And some of us may connect with a vibration of healing. It might be a guide, it might be your own personal spiritual messenger, whatever that is. I ask that you remember the energy, that memory you bring back with you today. And once we've finished the guided meditation, we will then go into some more deeper, juicy stuff with the crystals so that we can understand it at a different level, out of mind and out of phase of the mental state. And that is the biggest blocker. So I will prepare a piece of music now that you can download a lot of my music on iTunes and Spotify. I come under Joseph Alexander Ovidi. This is a vibrational piece that I put together and downloaded from above to assist people to reconnect with their higher self. It's called Healing Your Body. And we will bring in those healing energies. If there's anyone here today that has had resistance to healing and had, whether it's mental or physical, on a cellular level, I ask you all to connect to that and remove your mind and suspend any disbelief of what may or may not work, and remove that control and just surrender to the pure divine spirit. And in that you'll find your own grace, because I all ask you to remember the power you have, not the power you have told you don't have, not the power that we may have forgotten. And the identities that we have taken on in this reality are not real. We are not our names, we are not our faces, we are not the present body, because this body comes and we leave here naked. So we come here and leave here naked. So if the secret is leaving everything behind, it is a matter of making use of this journey and gaining the knowledge to go deep and understand how we can help this planet, help ourselves from a level of compassion, and assist each other to grow in a new world, in a new earth that is currently being formed. And as I said earlier, in that formation there's going to be turbulence, there's going to be upheaval, there's going to be a lot of things which I won't go into now. I'm running a workshop in August, and if you like, at the end I'll be outside and you can come and write down your email, and we can go deeper in those sessions. They'll be held in an evening, and we do hold most of them in evenings. And if you want to come and pick up a book or anything else, I'll have some CDs also available for you. But moving on to the guided meditation, I'll just get some vibrations going. And before we go into it, does anyone here have any questions on crystals? Because I'm going to absorb this information now and we can cover that later. I'm talking as if I'm in a microphone. Well, it is a mic, so here we go. So does anyone have any questions at the moment on crystals? And we'll make it really brief just to get a bit of a start. Yeah? Sorry, your name?
My name's Hannah.
Hannah.
And I just wondered, can you talk?
Absolutely. Well, remember, talking is a vibration. What is coming out of my voice now is a sound, yeah? So if you incorporate intent with your heart and your mind and align everything within the intent of the USB stick, this is an ancient USB stick that is more powerful than the current USB stick. So yes, the answer is yes, you can, but we'll be going into that later because I'm actually going to give you some techniques, which again, the book also goes into deeper and gives you a much more of a clear understanding. Just getting a crystal, ladies and gentlemen, out of a stand or picking one up will really be useless unless you know how to activate it. You go into a car or a ship, you need to captain that ship. It's the same analogy with crystals. You need to know what you're doing to get the full benefit out of them, or else they're just a comfort zone. Like anything else, you can pick up a pen and it'll have the same effect. Whereas once you understand there's a deeper level of spirituality involved with it, we then will be able to fully embrace the power that is available to us. So I will just get some vibrations going. And as we're going through this, just be guided by me fully. I will protect you and I will also protect the room. I will invoke sacred energies to come down and work with us. So let's go start off by, so this is a piece called Healing Your Body. Very powerful. Come on in, because we're about to start. And everyone take a deep breath in right now. And out. And one more in. And on the out, remove any negativity from your body. I invoke Archangel Michael to protect our room and everyone else observing this energy through the cosmos. And whoever is watching this, come on in and join us and take part in this powerful connection with the cosmic realms. And I'm going to count you down. If there's anyone here, I ask that if you do not want to be part of the guided meditation, you can leave now. If not, you are welcome to come on this journey. This sacred journey. This is your sacred time. I'm going to count down from 10 to 1, where at 1 you'll be at a total altered state where the connection with your body will be removed. 10. Going deeper, letting go of your identity. 9. Fully protected. 8. Going deeper. Take a deep breath in and out. 7. Going deeper. 6. Even deeper. Opening up your chakra and your heart to the global cosmic energy. 5. 4. Going deeper, deeper. Letting go. Putting your ego aside and going to your spiritual higher self. Take a deep breath in and let it out. 3. Connecting to the vibrations, entering your body, allow it to resonate with your body. 2. And 1. Just feel yourself free, totally free. I'd like you to feel yourself raising above the building, leaving your body and raising yourself above the building, up into the sky, above the convention center. And just see yourself going higher and higher, up into the clouds, up even higher, through the atmosphere. Feeling your heart open. Out into space now, and seeing, looking back at big, blue, bright Mother Earth, sending her love as she nourishes us and keeps us alive. She's alive. She's not a dead rock. She's a pure living element. Now, as we go further out into space, we feel our body being pulled out further. And we flow with the breezes of the cosmic light. And to go deeper now, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Where I will ask you to invite your higher self or your guide, whatever it is you're meant to experience in this zone. Just welcome it. It'll appear to you in your own vibration. Just allow your heart to connect with it. Whatever it is or whatever they are. We invite all the high elements, the light beings, the cosmic angels, the pure light within our soul to reconnect And we ask in assistance, and we take in all the healing from the cosmos in every fibre of our being and every cell in our body. Now take that in with a big breath and let it out. Any emotions come up, whatever comes up, whatever you're feeling, just let it out. If there's anybody that's hurt us in the past, any of that pain that we've carried from childhood, or any hurt from anyone in the past, any healing in our body, going deeper, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. I will leave you there for a moment to experience your sacred meeting, and I will guide you in a moment. So just stay there and focus your energy, your third eye and your heart on the vibrations of the sounds. Just open your heart, communication, and allow that communication through. Keep your breathing flowing. Connect to the healing now. Now, I'd like you to thank the divine. I'll leave you there for a moment. Just thank your experience. Have gratitude for your connection and your meeting points. And you can return to that energy at any time in the future. Remembering you're focusing your heart and your third eye. We are in a different vibration now. I'd like you to send love to whatever you connected with and embrace it. Because that is who we really are, our soul, our spirit. Now I'd like you to say your final goodbye to your sacred connection and advise them that you'd like to return in future and bring this connection back to Earth. As we turn back to Mother Earth, As we see the big blue planet Earth get closer and bigger, we return with a more compassionate understanding of how our true presence on the planet echoes in eternity, and we are all connected as one divine being. As we get closer, we come through the atmosphere. Back through, down, over the clouds. You're fully protected energetically. Coming down. Going deeper, down to Earth. Over the ICC now. You feel yourself over the building. Coming down, back into the room. Keep your eyes closed as I need to bring you back into your body. I will count up from 1 to 10. Where at 10 you will be back to your grounded self. 1, 2, coming up. 3, 4, feeling your bum on your chair, keeping your eyes shut. 5, 6, 7, raising, grounding yourself back in your body. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. When you're ready, you can open your eyes. If you need to keep them closed a bit longer, just come back into your body slowly. If you need to stretch and feel yourself again. So essentially, you just experienced an altered state and a connection with your deeper self. And this is the level we need to connect to connect with the crystal activation and crystals and crystalline world. The moment we bring in a belief, the moment we accept a reality, the universe molds to that belief. And I'd like all of you from now on, from today, to start to understand that as you have your self-talk daily, start to listen to what you're actually saying to yourself. There's a lot of people out there that constantly say to themselves, I've always got bad luck. Things are happening not my way. Nothing turns out. This is self-negative talk, but you're actually self-fulfilling your prophecy. As you think, so shall you be. In other words, words have power. And that's why when we are writing words, we are spelling. And when we are casting spells, see the combination of words, how they're all similar? When we cast spells and we use words, when we are using words, can anyone spell the word for me? W-O-R-D? Put an S in front of it. A sword. A word could be a sword or it can heal you. So start to choose your words very, very carefully, because your language is power. And start to use the water that you drink with reverence. Don't just drink water, prepare your water where possible, because water holds memory. Dr. Omoto, has anyone heard of his research? Perfect, okay, so if it holds memory, and we are drinking water that holds memory, if that water has not been looked after correctly and prepared or even prayed to, what are you putting in your body and in your cells? We are 70% water, yeah? 70% water? So I'm writing a new book at the moment on new therapies with vibrations, and it will go into how to prepare a new way of preparing your water, your food. And I've downloaded this and I've been asked to share this, and it's coming out in the next 12 months. It will be important to understand that how we accumulate energy and nutrition affects our cells, and we can use the crystals to actually prepare our food. So it's not just a matter of cooking it. You know, there's certain practices we can do with the elements. Once we've programmed them correctly, we then can utilize that power, that ancient technology. Now, the activation of crystals. Does anyone here have an idea of how crystals are activated? From just being an item on a shelf when you see it, to something that is spinning. Yep. Sorry, speak up, Donna. Close. Yes, that's part of it. Yes, thank you. That is part of it. There's more to it. Yes, over here. Cleansing them by the moon is one item, but we are referring to activating them. For them to be an item that you can use in rituals, that you can use to heal. These are spinning molecules, and they're appearing, the atoms are appearing in this form for you to see it in this form, or else it would be in another form. They are arranged complex molecules that spin and vibrate. And the only way to alter that vibration is to put pressure on it through the piezo effect, which is a science effect in crystals. But the moment you start putting energy into it, hold it in your heart, that now is impulsing. And what happens is, this is science, the molecules are starting to spin and it has become a little active reactor. And in having that active, now you have something you can work with and program your little USB of upgrading information and downloading information. The activation process can be a second, or it can be 5 or 10 minutes, depending on where you are vibrationally. That's why it is important that you connect and remove the mind and the ego world, the 3D mind, when using crystals. How many of us here actually do any rituals daily? Correct. So the rituals are very important in using crystals. If you're serious about working with a dynamic product element, you need to intention and practice the energy that's in your heart, mind and soul, and align that with one intent. You cannot intend 5 things at once. So if you want to manifest, you're not going to go out there and say, I want to manifest that, it's got to be one item. You pour your energy into that. You practice it daily, right? Every morning you'll wake up, rather than go through your TikTok, you'll go through to your ritual, yeah? And we'll put the TikTok aside, because you're going to be caring to alter the momentum of your life, because what we think about expands. Where we put our energy expands. So we see a lot of people out there talking about illnesses and negative things, but they are actually putting energy in that and drawing that into their reality. So we need to start to be very careful of what thoughts we have, the thought patterns we have, the negative, destructive language that we have with ourselves. And when we start to see the clarity of that, we then bring that into the dimension of crystals, and you start to work with a tool that heals. Now, in the healing process with crystals, and we'll be running a workshop, as I said earlier, in July or August, where we'll be showing some techniques that you will be working with the energy internally, working from within to reveal a better outcome on the outside of the body, rather than modern medicine works on a symptom, but not the internal issues, yeah? And this is an ancient, proven, for many thousands of years, a technique that once you start working with it, you cannot not see results. But again, I dare to say not to follow your medical doctor's opinion and information and advice. This is not about that. This is about just knowing that you can reclaim back your power and reclaim back what is divinely in all of us. We are all born equal. Every person you come across is no better or no less than you. We are all born naked and equal. And we are all spirits coming into this dimension, having a human experience. We are here for a short while. So while we are in this reality, wouldn't we want to understand the mechanics and understand that the sacred journey in this reality is about going deeper within, and remembering that the sacred journey is between you and God, or whatever you want to call it, the Supreme Being. Some things can't even be named because they are so powerful and omnipresent. But this connection that we can have, we can connect to this at any time through the cosmos and download information and take this information in. And then with that information, you'll be able to enhance your life and create the path to your sacred journey. Now, we're going to go into a little bit of a question time onto crystals. I'll just get a time check. Can I have a time check? So how long have we got? Perfect. We've got 15 minutes, so we'll pace it out. Question, yes?
I've known about crystals for a while.
Yep.
And I just thought, well, they're really pretty rocks. But I'm learning that certain crystals come from certain parts of the world.
Correct.
So I was told to get that.
You were told to get?
Yeah.
Who told you to get it?
This lady I said.
Okay, that's what you've got to remove yourself from. You've got to follow your heart on what you feel is right.
Yeah. Well,
Anyone can tell you anything, see?
Yeah, well, I took her advice and eventually I got it. And it made a huge difference.
Okay, well
So
that's good.
I did have intention because I thought, oh, that's interesting. I had it in my pocket. So I was having issues at work.
Okay.
When it's just transformed everything. Well, not that.
Well, you felt a better, and that's great. But what I say to you, and again, chapter 3 or 4 of the book, it'll actually show you the selection process of the crystals. Don't give your power away to people out there or other entities that may influence what is good for you. Your heart knows, and our heart knows what is good for us. Reclaim your power, people. At the end of the day, you know what is right for you. Don't give your power up so easily. Although people are there to heal and help, and genuinely you'll know that, you'll feel it when somebody is coming from truth. But the selection process is about the crystal calling you. You'll go somewhere and it'll just hit you. You'll feel it, and we go more in depth on those items. But yeah.
I didn't. So the question was, do they form in nature like that?
Correct.
And then they're obviously mined.
Well, they're mined, and that's another topic. They shouldn't really be mined for profit. Although if they're used for assisting as tools, that's a good thing. The problem is there's a big business behind, and then there's an industry behind it, and they're shaking the vibration of the planet. So the planet is out of alignment because of what we're removing. And our planet is very sick, really sick. Most of our waterways have died globally. We are at a mess, and hence the vibration and understanding how we can influence this energy for a positive as a group is that once we understand that there are ley lines around this planet which run in grids, and once you start to work with crystals, you're able to tap into those locations. There's one up Byron Bay Way up in Mullumbimby where Crystal Castle is. There's a ley line running straight through there. Does anyone know? That's a lovely place up there. Once you connect with these ley lines, you start to work with crystals on a different dimension. You're able to go and set up your crystal grids. And you can set your grids up by putting a grid in the middle or on an angle. You pick your main crystal, which you intention through activation, which we just went through, and then you place all the other crystals there, and you can leave it in your backyard, you can leave it on the side of your bed, and those crystals, you intention on the outer part to the main crystal to keep that energy going like a power plant. So once you've activated it, the molecules are spinning, and you've got that down now on your grid. You revisit this grid daily, and you use that energy to connect to what it is you want to manifest in this reality. And you start to transmute, meaning you start to change your energy from one to another, and you jump on the swing of life. The swing of life is everything goes up and down. We're going to have times where things are good, but that's always energetically preceded by something bad, because everything runs in cycles. Or if something is bad, there's going to be a good behind it. So be prepared, work and walk neutrally in life. If you attach yourself to the too good or the too bad, you will suffer in the middle of it, because understanding that everything is energy and vibration, and you are the master of your energy, you are the master of your vibration in your body. Your energy speaks before you walk into a room. Your energy speaks when you walk into a room, and people pick up your energy even before you say your name. And that's why there are people that draw energy out of people. The energy vampires, yeah? They take energy and they come in all forms in our life. These are people that drain us and suck our life force away. People like that have normally got all the problems. And you're always helping them, but they never want to help themselves. So choose the people you walk with in this life, and choose good people around you, because good people will lift your life and bring you to a point where your vibration is a lot more stable, and then your reality becomes stable. And in manifesting, who would like more power with manifesting in this reality? Okay, good. You've all got mobile phones? We'll have, yes. Mobile phones will take you away from that energy. You need to connect to the spiritual aspect and start knowing who you are. You're not your name. You're not your work. We are not our work. We are not the labels we take on, because labels restrict our form. We are beyond that. So there's a time and place. Yes, we live in society, we need to do what we need to do. But then there is another time where we have our own personal time and we start to discover. And as the scriptures, the ancient scriptures says, know thyself. Because if you know who you are, really, you know your true power. And that's where it's reclaimed. In knowing who you are. And that's where the ancient Lemurians, we'll go back a little bit now, the ancient Lemurians, they work with the crystals, and I'll give you a brief understanding of how the Atlanteans used them. So the ancient Lemurians were a semi-matter being. They were crystalline. They were like fluorescent type humans, but over time they solidified more, and their vibration dropped from a 5D reality and came down to a 3 and 4D reality. Then after that, the Atlanteans came on, which were an offshoot to that reality. The Atlanteans used the energy and the knowledge with crystals to download their lighting up of their cities with crystals, lighting up and building crystal pyramids, which are still under the ocean now. And they used all that technology ultimately to blow themselves up. The city sunk because they disconnected themselves with spirituality, with their own truth, and got into the greed side. You see any resemblance with the society we live in now, where it's all about profit and money, greed? You can only get ahead in this reality if you rip the next person off, because you've got to make profit. You don't make profit, you don't get ahead. And that's a society, it's capitalism, and it has its place, but we're at a time now where it needs to ultimately change. Now we're going to go into a final question time on, you talk about spirituality. As a spiritual teacher, I do give guidance on the journey. So if there's anything, any type of clarity you want in your journey, I'm happy to guide you. So are there any questions here? This is your time. Yes?
You mentioned about energy of vampires. Would you recommend something? How do you protect yourself?
Okay, perfect question. The question is, how do we protect ourselves against energy vampires? Number one, if you can eliminate them, don't deal with them. That's a given. But more importantly, by protecting yourself energetically. And that is done by meditation and reclaiming, because in meditation we get energy from the universe and it empowers us. We feel strong. I don't know if anyone does regular meditation in here, but how do you feel after a meditation? Wow, yeah, it's no drug or alcohol or anything could give you that high. It's even better than running a marathon. It's ultimately beautiful. When you get into that zone, you then have that energy. You surround yourself with white light, and with the white light, you protect yourself. They're going to be around us. It's part of life, yeah? By the way, this is a beautiful piece I just wrote. It's called Midnight Meditation Therapy. So if any of you have problems falling asleep at night and wanting to get into a higher dimension, you can put Midnight Meditation Therapy on it. It's the most beautiful. I downloaded this from another realm, but it's here for humanity. I've also got a video with it on my YouTube channel, or if you go to my website, princeofharmony.com.au, we shot the aerials from over the ocean, and it goes for about 20 minutes. But when you're finished watching it or feeling and vibing with it, your contact with reality has shifted and you're vibrating at a higher level. And this is my other work with music and vibrations. Apart from being a teacher, I'm a music producer, and I constantly produce more and more music and download this information from different elements to assist who is ready for it. And we're all here for a reason today, ladies and gentlemen. You're not here by chance. And I ask that whatever you've taken with you, whatever you've gained today, to share it and be a shining light. wherever and whoever you come into contact with, because truth and light is the only way forward in this world. So, did you have a question?
I do. I was just curious, you mentioned about the energy vampires. How do you know when people, or in my experience, I know people that uplift me, but I also get really drained by it, so I don't know what that is.
Okay, that could be, okay, the question is, you feel uplifted, but then sometimes you feel that you get drained at the same time. That's because the uplifting is probably you wanting to be uplifted more and you're protecting yourself, but because you're not understanding it, they're actually draining you, and there's a conflict of energy there. So that's now your compass, because our truth is that we are not our names, we are our hearts, and your heart will always make you go strong when something is truth, and our muscles react to something that weakens us. And this is proven in kinesiology, where they use muscle testing with different materials and elements, and our body goes weak. And we can get a truth by just testing someone's muscles, and we can ask them questions, and if they're lying, their muscles will go weak.
My actual question was, how do you prepare the water?
Oh,
What
water.
does that relate to?
Perfect, very simply. When you go, whoever's religious or has been religious in the past or grown up in some type of religion, what did they do with water? It was holy. You need to pray and intend the water because it holds memory. Once you intention, the molecules within the water actually absorb whatever you're intending. It's like the word hate. Dr. Omoto did test with the word hate in frozen water, and it froze all distorted. But on the other hand, he had water that was blessed by monks or with the word love, and it came out complex and pure. So if we know this is affecting our body, and we are putting vibrations in our body that can be affected through intention and through our thinking and our energy, start to be very careful how you prepare your food, and how you drink your water, and how you prepare your water, and how you keep your water. A lot of cultures have got water that they keep in certain locations for a few hours. I think a lot of the Indian cultures might even, and Nikhil might verify that, use water in a sacred location of the house with flowers around it before they actually use it for drinking. And as I said earlier, some ashrams and where the yogis are, they'll always have somebody preparing the food that is always smiling and happy, because that emanates through the food that you eat, and it affects the whole organisation and everyone else in that, rather than getting someone there that's angry and going off at everyone preparing the food. That energy will actually come through the food and the water. So I ask you all to connect to your truth and just follow whatever it is within your heart that awakens you and empowers us. Yeah. Any other questions before we wrap up?
Just the shungite in the water, is there a maximum time you leave it there, or is it quite safe to
You leave it in there non-stop. I've had mine in there for 12 months now.
what would be a minimum?
Oh, there is no minimum, because it's just constantly reacting to the water, and it's absorbing, and that's what it's driving. So occasionally you might want to pull it out, just dry it out a bit, and just reactivate it, and it'll start doing its own thing. But even with shungite, you don't really need to even fully activate it, because it's already active. That's why it's doing its job. And then I just think it's one of the best products around. Mobile phones, well, my phone, all my electronic devices have all got some form of shungite attached to them for protection. You wouldn't be exposing your body constantly to radiation, sleeping with it near your bed. There are consequences and personal choice.
What was that other crystal? That was the clear one.
Oh, this is the Lemurian crystal.
Yeah.
This one's the one full of information. Yeah.
How do you spell that?
Lemuria. Now, I'm going to be outside because I think we've got someone coming in shortly. So if you'd like to come over and get a copy of the book or whatever else and say hi, feel free to.